Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Patch 1.29 finally dropped. So we do have the little update to add the faction from another dimension. So we can go ahead and add King Arthur, which is one of my favorite heroes. Just from lore back in the day, he is absolutely phenomenal. If you've ever seen any of the movies, which I'm sure most of you have. So let's go ahead and pick him up. But it looks like we have a lot of other deals here as well. It looks like his gear you can get plus some gems, which is 50 bucks. The other set of gear, so $100 total if you want to buy his gear here. So super expensive. You'll get it over time. I know it does offer the 30% factional advantage, and I'm not sure if you can get it normally, but I'm assuming you can. A couple of our Stones of Force there. It looks like a lot of emblems. So if you really want to gear him up, you're probably looking at, that's like 1, 2, 250, 300 bucks, 350, 400, about $450 if you want to buy the new hero to max him out, which is absolutely huge. And there he is. So I planned on buying the hero. So as soon as he came out, definitely wanted to pick him up. As you can see there, he looks awesome. Ton of VIP points too. Not going to worry about any of his gear. Like I said, over time, I do have the Stone of Force. So if I do get any of his gear, I'll be able to level it up and throw it on him. One thing that I absolutely love about the ability to fuse is he'll go right to whatever character I fuse him with. So if I fuse him with Shamira, which I think I'm going to do, I might fuse him with, not with Shamira, but fuse him with Rain, because Rain is the hero I don't use, so I could still have access to Shamira. But let me go ahead and see. And I had to figure out he's at the temple. So when you go to fuse him, you have to fuse him at the temple, just like leveling up a normal hero. So like I said, I was kind of torn between both of them. I think I'm going to go with Shamira just because in the main campaign, I don't use her. But I might also do Belinda because, or not Belinda, Rain, excuse me, because I don't use her either. So I could either get him to 3 stars with the Ascension, and look how high the stats are with 3 stars. So once they're fused together, they can't be used together, but I would still have access to Rain. So as long as they're not being used together, and 100 gold to unfuse them, which is okay. So I think I am going to go ahead and do Shamira because I want to see how high his stats are. And there they are fused. So he actually goes straight to 4 stars, which is awesome. So he is super strong, as you can see. I'll go ahead and post the stats right below him so we know exactly how much he is. But that is awesome. A lot of the heroes that they release, like the twins, Talina, all of the new heroes, you can't use, especially chapter 24, almost into chapter 25, because you don't have enough copies of them and you don't get enough copies of them. So all of my Celestial and Hyperion heroes just kind of sit because I don't have any copies of them. But with the fuse ability, and there is his signature item, which is Excalibur, of course. Arthur rallies his team, raising the attack speed of normal attacks, which is awesome. So it's going to be super useful. Putting some high DPS. I'm thinking like maybe a Belinda behind him, maybe a Falks. Even using Gwyneth, because normal attacks for them, especially with her signature item that your normal attacks go faster. Anyone who has a haste buff, really. So even a Leica, somebody that's going to have a haste buff is going to shine right behind him. And unfortunately, they're going to have to move the fuse or move the words. Checking out his stats or his skills here. Everything is unlocked. He's on level 276, 4-star hero. So I do want to get him all geared up and set. I want to get him some emblems, unleash or unlock his signature item so we can get him up so he can be super effective in the campaign. One thing I did notice about him, if you look, since I already have him because I purchased him, in the store is now his emblem of space. So one of the big sticking points is once you hit level 20 with your signature item, those are very hard to get. A lot of people said even buying those over your faction scrolls or heroes out of events. They are super rare. They're super hard to get. Most of the chests only give you a couple of them. AFK Arena, the actual AFK Arena rewards gives you sometimes. Sometimes you'll get some of the emblems. Sometimes you'll get some of the chests that you can redeem from the emblems. I believe through this whole entire game, I've only gotten like 22 or 23 chests total that are just choose your own emblem. So I think that's going to be a sticking point. I know right now with Chimera, which is at, I believe, 25, same thing, kind of the sticking point for it. But we'll go ahead and we'll get our team all geared up here and ready to go through the campaign, which is going to be nice to see. I want to see just how kind of overpowered a lot of people have said. A lot of people even that have gotten him on the test server have said he's super overpowered. So I have all my team all geared up, and I know this is the team that I'm going to go with. This is the team I geared up. So we're going to see just how far we can kind of push with him. So let's see how well he does. So if you look, it looks like he almost has like a blue radius in the back. That is the radius that he uses with his signature item. So anyone who's behind him, which right now is Falks and Rowan, normal attacks are going to go faster. And if you look at Falks, he has his own haste self buff. So he attacks super, super fast. And with super fast as he gets off his ultimate ability. This was a campaign stage that was giving me trouble. So 24-44. And the ability to just put him literally right into the team. He does not have a faction bonus. Not sure if that's going to be something that we're going to change in the future. But now putting Falks behind him because I want his ultimate ability, and putting Belinda as well, they're going to attack very fast. And his signature ability or signature item, I did get to, I believe, level 12. So that raises their crit by 15% as well. And it looks like, as you can see right there, when he turns around, it does go the other way. So it is very specific to the direction that he's facing. If he faces an enemy direct on, they do 70% less damage. And then behind him, so anyone behind him, like right there, look how fast Falks attacks. It is crazy. Combine that with Belinda buffing both her and Falks. The crit that he's bringing from Arthur, the crit that she's bringing from her own buff right there. And Lucius goes down. He is not even taking any damage at all. Between his shield and he is still full hit points. So super, super strong. I can see why so many people have said he's kind of overpowered. So here's Savius on the bottom, does a ton of damage to Lucius, which with the shield that he's putting up, and as you can see, he just takes Excalibur right out of the lake there, does his ultimate with his kind of AoE, kind of like the arcing effect in front of him. And just the heroes behind him that attack super fast. I mean, look how fast they melt down these stages. And we're on 24, I believe 24:48. So, I mean, you're looking at fully ascended, fully kind of geared out teams. So I want to swap them around a little bit. So I'm going to swap Falks to the bottom just because I want to see how well he does against a tank. And I know Lucius is just going to have Thane on him, which even in the bottom, his little arcing attack does a lot of damage. So I think if you're running a stronger damage, even maybe swapping out Rowan for Gwyneth might be a good choice. Belinda is good. Falks does a lot of damage, especially with the buff. But I think a Gwyneth would do a lot better. Even if Falks was by himself to CC, it is a super solid team. I think in the future they might give them a faction bonus. Just kind of looking at the team comp. And even here, I mean, his hit points, and there's his ultimate ability again. His hit points don't even move. Between his shield and Lucius's shield, got kind of the double shield. So it might be a little bit overkill. And if you look at his damage, 3.38 million. So he is doing a lot of damage. Where the two damage dealers, I mean, even in comparison to where Lucius is at, 300k. So not only does he do a ton of damage, boosts kind of your whole entire team, as he has the ability to do damage as well, which is awesome. I love when he takes Excalibur out of the lake. As soon as his ultimate goes off right there, pulls it, flies right to his hand, and he does his big AoE attack right there, or his area attack. It hit the front line and both heroes in the back line. Then anyone he's attacking in the back line, which is usually a damage dealer, when he gets to the back line, does 70% less damage to him because he's face to face with him. So kind of interesting dynamic with him. I want to see how well he does here against Brutus, because Brutus can usually burn Lucius down pretty quick, and he's got Thane on him. So his hit points start to drop a little bit. He pulls Excalibur out. And it looks like he's yep, got him down a little bit, but got a Rowan potion, or I don't even think he drank a potion. And he might go down here, but I think with the double shields, he's getting healed right back up. So he's going to be right back to full. So 3 heroes on him, did take a little bit of damage. And even there, I think he's almost down, but he does his ultimate ability. Gets a little here there, and stays right up with a heal. Super excited, just like when I got Rowan. Rowan pushed me chapters 18 to 22 easily. Seems like he is going to be a very, very solid carry. So as long as you have a good off tank, or even using a hero like Shamira or somebody to tank, even if I put Falks up front, maybe put Gwyneth in, might be a good choice, just because he does so much damage. But still can't just bench Lucius. He's been so solid for so long. But all the buffs that King Arthur brings to the team is just, it's amazing. As you can see here, I mean, these chapters were really, really tough. I was kind of stuck in the campaign for a little bit. And he's just flying right through it. Gets Excalibur again. And still completely full hit points there. So much mitigation. Sitting there fighting with face-to-face with Sirius. Or Cirrus. So his survivability is through the roof, and his damage increase for anyone behind him. So any high damage dealers that are going to stay behind him, any ranged attack, and his aura just, he does a ton of damage. So very nice addition with the dimensional character. I think I'm going to probably push through almost all of chapter 24, if not all of chapter 24. Because the combination of Lucius and him, it's very, very hard to get them down. Yeah, and they just go right through. So completing another campaign stage. Let's see, he's got Arden here, which is pretty good. And then that Athalia does so much burst damage. Still crazy. I know so many people still use her, or have always used her, or want to get her up, just because her burst damage is crazy, as you can see there. Almost getting a target to 50% just with the very first attack. And there, I think she's going to take down Rowan. Yep, we got this one. And her ultimate ability is so strong. Thorin, I'm trying to get up. I know a lot of people said, I mean, he might be a really good counter running Thorin, the Fallen King, and then the One True King, Arthur, running them together, just for the survivability aspect of it. Since they've done the Thorin rework, he does quite a bit of damage, quite a bit of burst damage when he starts his ultimate with the damage mitigation, and when he dies, he comes back to life. So super solid tank as well. But unfortunately, I don't have him up high enough to use. Need a lot more copies of him. So, but I am very impressed with Arthur. Good addition, and I can actually use him. It's not a hero that I would have bought. So 2456. So we've pushed through, what's that, 12 stages, 13 stages? And he goes right to Isabella, which doesn't do any damage because he's face to face with her. So doing 70% less damage to him. That's what just makes him so hard to kill. And I think in this battle I do have a little bit overkill with the support heroes. But as you can see, Thorin there, he is so tough. Got an entire team on him, and still can't take him down. All right, so that takes us to. This is a pretty tough team. Anytime you fight Belinda on the opposing team with Estrilda, it's a very tough team because they both do a lot of damage, and they got a lot of damage. A lot of buffs for the team. But that's going to be pretty easy. Belinda on my side does the same. She does a ton of damage. Late game, I replaced Shamira with Belinda. Shamira takes a little bit longer to get her ult off. Her survivability is higher, but I think her overall damage kind of drops off a little bit. Where Belinda can... Oh, she went down there. But she can buff, like she buffed Falk's damage there, which is nice. Or Shamira doesn't bring really not much to the team, but the survivability aspect of it. So this might be our first defeat going through the campaign. But we'll see if Arthur can take it down, which he should be able to, especially with having the CC. So Thorin's down. That's the only drawback that I've said before with Thorin, is when he goes down, just like when Kasos runs off, is all the damage goes right to the back line. And look how fast Falk's attacks. Wow, that is crazy. By the time Arthur got like one swing, Falk's already attacked 3 times. So we did get through that stage. So we are almost done with chapter 24. Oh, the little iron dwarfs pushed him back. This is going to be a pretty easy battle, though. Some of the unusual team comps, like when you add the healer, Grezold, and Angelo. Belinda, I think, is going to just burn him down in the back line. Yep. Yes, we should be able to get this one down. I believe that'll almost take us to the very last stage of chapter 24, which for completing chapter 24, I believe you get 20 more faction scrolls. Going all Lightbearer, continuing with the Lightbearer. I want to get one more copy of Gwyneth to get her ascended, and one more copy of Rowan. And this is going to be a tough team. You have 2 heavy burst DPS. And the Rowan tries to counteract it with the coins. He is going to go down fast. So we did get our CC up, but Thane and Nathalia together is a deadly, deadly combination. Because as you can see there with the ultimate abilities, they do so much burst. And then having Lucius to be able to shield them. Yep. So 2460 is what we're on now. So super, super huge campaign push with these two. And both of them go right back to Rowan. I think I might have to just change it up a little to try to keep him alive. Even though his card's still up, which is good. And he is trying, but go down again. This might be a battle that's going to take a little bit of swapping out some heroes, maybe swapping out some gear to try to keep them alive. This looks a little better. No one's died yet. But spoke too soon. When she used her ultimate ability, just destroys the team. All right, so this one's going to take a little more finesse to get down, especially with 2 burst DPS. So if you know what team comp you used for 2460, let me know. So I'll be able to swap some out. I'm going to have to swap some out. So that'll conclude it for the campaign push 24-60. He is super, super strong, super overpowered. I can't imagine having a signature item higher or having his specific gear because survivability is high, his damage is there, he buffs the team a ton. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new hero. I think he is super awesome and super overpowered. Glad I can use him. And as always, thank you guys for watching.